I snapped on my M21 girlfriend, F22, perverted brother, and she's mad at me. Can't believe I'm making this post, but I know I'm not crazy. I've been dating my GF since August and I met her brother on Thanksgiving. He's a bully, makes sexual jokes about her body and touches her inappropriately around me. He does and says a lot of obnoxious shit he should not. He's 24 BTW. I'll just say this now, I don't know if her parents ever said anything to him about this shit, but they're old, like 60s and 70s, not that it matters. So the first time I met him was Thanksgiving morning and we were having breakfast. He introduced himself, then proceeded to bash my GF by saying, "You're eating bacon, that's cannibalism, you pig." Oink oink, which I didn't find very funny. But moving on, later that night at Thanksgiving dinner around some of his/her friends, we were having dessert and he said, "I don't need any cake cause I can eat that one right there," and pointed at my GF's ass, and again I'm like, what the fuck? And since then I've heard him make sex jokes about her, grope her ass and breasts. It's really fucking weird. I even pulled my GF aside one day and I said, "What the fuck is up with the way your brother talks and touches you?" And she just brushed it off and said, "We've always been that way since we were younger." And I'm like, that's weird. I get teasing your siblings, but he's extreme and it's not okay. I even asked her friends what's with the shit he does and they replied they've spoken to her about it before but she thinks it's okay, so they just let it go. So a few nights ago we're in their living room with a group of friends just hanging out. Once again he made a joke about her. I finally replied, "Damn Donald Trump Jr. trying to fuck your sister," and he instantly got mad and said, "TF you say?" And I said, "It's weird how you joke and touch your sister, dude." And he said, "You're a piece of shit." And I said, "And you wanna fuck your sister?" And he pushed me and I pushed him back and punched him in the jaw. And that's when people broke us up and my GF pulled me outside to talk to me. The base of our conversation was her asking me, "Why are you jealous of my brother touching me?" And I said, "Look at what the fuck you're asking me. Why am I jealous of your brother touching your ass? It's fucking weird and not normal." And I asked her, "Has he ever tried to do anything to you?" She said, "He's my brother, what is wrong with you?" and got mad and told me to leave. She thinks I overreact to the things that he does. I had so much respect for my GF, I thought she was smart. I'm the one sitting here feeling crazy because she's okay with that shit. Like it's normal for me to sexualize my siblings. I know this shit won't work and will lead to me breaking up with her. But how TF has this gone on basically their whole childhood and no one stops it or him? I could tell that sometimes when he does it she's uncomfortable, but as I said, she shrugs it off. Maybe I do over-exaggerate some of the stuff he has done, but it's not okay in any way, shape or form. After the fact, one of her friends talked and we danced around me hitting him, saying she's talked to him about it before but nothing changes. They both think it's normal. Talk to her, ask her directly, "Do you ever feel awkward that he is doing this stuff?" If she says no, tell her you can't accept this and need to leave before he hurts her brother even worse, cause you will not tolerate someone abusing your girlfriend. Make the stand and let her decide. Is your love enough for her to tell her brother to stop what he's doing, and if he isn't, to let the fight ensue so he will learn his lesson? This isn't borderline sexual harassment, it is sexual harassment, but she can't see it and allows it. If she doesn't want to correct this, tell her, "I'm sorry but you have to leave," and that it will eat you up inside to see this happen every time he is around. Tell her that she will never find a good so if she allows this to continue, and will only find an abusive partner that condones his actions because they don't care about her. Sounds like long-term sexual abuse where she has become used to it. All I can think about is, what if you marry and have children with this woman and Uncle Pervy comes around the kids? I wouldn't continue the relationship personally. I would encourage her seek therapy because what he's doing just is not okay. I'm so sorry. The last boyfriend I had before I met my husband once slapped me in the face jokingly, and when I called him on it and was understandably mad, his exact words were, "My sister doesn't mind when I do that to her." Said, "I'm not your sister, you asshole, and you shouldn't be hitting anyone," and broke up with him immediately. Seems like the same kind of situation and no one wins. I think it's at the point where your girlfriend has been sexually harassed and abused for so long that she's normalized it. You said that you were with some of you and your girlfriend's friends when you punched her brother. I think you should bring this up to the friends, away from the girlfriend. If they're normal, sane people, they'll think what her brother is doing is disgusting like you do. And I'm not saying gang up on her with you and her friends, but maybe like an intervention type of thing. Just make sure she knows that she's done nothing wrong. This is all because of her brother. And, honestly, if she rejects that her brother is doing anything wrong, break up with her. It's not worth the drama. How to save my 24 meters relationship with my GF 22F after her sister basically assaults me. My M24 girlfriend F22 and I have been together for about a year now and going strong. She has a twin sister who is strange. They have the same hair color, eye color, and generally the same facial features. The twin is overly touchy with strangers, begs for attention at family events, fishing for compliments, always trying to one-up people, not amazing at picking up social cues or others' behavior. She seems like a normal person at first, but after seeing her a few times it wasn't hard to pick up on some of her odd doings. I always tried to be nice to her, never once have I commented on this to my girlfriend, but she has to me. Especially lately, since she spent about a week at her parents' for the holidays, where her sister still lives. It started with my GF texting me that her sister was acting oddly jealous of her relationship, complaining about not being able to find a boyfriend, making snide comments, and apparently comments about me, not all of them appropriate. This made my girlfriend angry, and me uncomfortable, obviously. This was all within the first day of her staying there, and her sister dropped it after that. When I was there for dinner on Boxing Day, her sister insisted on sitting next to me. All she could talk about was wanting someone to spend the holidays with, constantly saying you guys are just so cute. I don't know how she found a boyfriend before me. I'm the hotter one, and generally just making everyone feel weird. Their mom told her to stop and be mature for once, which she did not like. She started doing this thing where she didn't say anything, just making all her motions dramatic. Everything that came out of her mouth after was backhanded and rude. I don't know how my girlfriend or her parents dealt with this normally because they just ignored it for the most part. After dinner she just went to her room. My girlfriend and I were going to sleep in the room in the basement, as her parents converted her room into an office when she moved out. The closest bathroom was at the top of the stairs, next to the hallway in the living room. We had a few drinks with her parents before heading down for the night. I woke up at probably 3 a.m. because my bladder was killing me, and I had to crawl over my GF to get off of the bed. I tried not to wake her up, but she didn't ask where I was going, so I told her. She just closed her eyes again. So I did what I had to do, all in the dark because I don't know where and GD light switches were in their house. When I got out of the bathroom, I felt my girlfriend hug me from behind, and she started kissing my neck. Then she reaches down and basically puts her hands in my pants. Being me, I pop a boner instantly, even if I am a bit tired. I was hesitant because her family just upstairs, so I asked her if this was a good idea, and she just kind of hummed, which apparently was good enough for me. I don't know what I can or can't say here, but lightly put, she pushed me onto the couch and gave me a BJ. It's still dark, but after she just smiled and kissed me, before she said she was just going the bathroom. Whatever, I think, and go back downstairs lest her parents or sister come into the living room. As soon as I entered the room my heart dropped. My girlfriend was still sleeping in bed. I couldn't sleep the rest of the night because I was freaking the fuck out. It took me a second to put all the pieces together in my head. Creeps me the hell out that her sister was just waiting for me to come upstairs, then to assault me. I just feel so stupid for not realizing when it was happening, but it was dark, her head was down and wasn't really looking up. They have the same hair color. Even when she spoke it sounded like my GF when she had just woken up / was groggy. This wouldn't be out of character for my GF at all either. We left their house pretty early, and her sister, thank Christ, was still asleep. Before anyone asks why I didn't say anything before this, I think I just truly processed it. I'm in no way trying to justify this, but I don't know how to go about even bringing this up. I have no clue what her sister gains from this, or if she intends to blackmail me. I want to preserve my relationship with my girlfriend, but it almost seems impossible after this. Needless to say, I will not ever be going back to her parents if her sister is there, nor do I want to see her ever again. This whole thing is so fucked up to me. I really don't know how to explain this to her without breaking her heart, or ruining a family tie. Apologies if this isn't super articulate. It's 8 AM and I feel too weird to ask any of my friends about this, but it's all I can think about. Too long didn't read. I went to my GF's parents for dinner over the holidays. Her weird twin sister waited for me to go to the bathroom at 3 AM. Subsequently gave me a BJ in the dark. What do I do? Sounds like rape to me. She raped you. You have to tell your girlfriend before her sister does. I'm so sorry, this is a shit-ass situation you got yourself in. You need to come clean ASAP. The longer you hold on to this, the worse it's going to get. You need to convey to your girlfriend that you're the victim here. Her sister took advantage, and basically raped you. Not okay. If your relationship is going to survive this, it's going to take a monumental effort on both your parts. Good luck, dude. Don't let your relationship with your GF get ruined by her sister. It is way better to tell your GF what happened. There is no reason to not believe you. If her sister tries to spin the story, hopefully your GF recognizes she's lying. If you don't tell your GF, her sis will have leverage over you, which is the worst scenario you can be in. You have to tell her. You have to. Her sister will absolutely tell her, and then it'll look so bad that you didn't. I'm so sorry. You were assaulted, you didn't do anything wrong, and if it were anyone but her sister, I'd say it would be up to you whether you told or not. But it's her sister. This affects her, too. This is dangerous, criminal behavior from someone she trusts, even though they may not get along. I hope so much that she believes you entirely, and you talk to someone qualified about this. Again, you didn't do anything wrong, and this shouldn't have happened to you. Guy I'm dating said he'd only hang out with me if I gave him a blowjob. Is this manipulative? We've been hooking up for 4 months. Mainly we hang out when it's convenient for him because he works long hours. He's asked me for nudes before over text, and I told him I wasn't comfortable with it, and he kept pushing me to send them, saying things like, "Don't you trust me? Don't you want to turn me on?" That was a red flag to me, since he was basically being manipulative, but I let it go since I realized we were only having sex at this point, not in a real relationship. Feel like I'm always the one to text him first saying I want to see him and hang out, because I do. And I texted him this last night. He responded by saying he'd be down to hang out if I promised to give him a blowjob. I'm realizing this guy is trash, and I don't know why I put up with it for so long. I guess part of me still is holding on to the fact that he could maybe like me on day and maybe want to be my boyfriend. I just don't want to be completely alone again. It's been nice having him around and having someone to see consistently. Should I just let him go completely? Also, I texted him back last night after the BJ comment saying, if you want to see me this week, great, and if not, fine, I don't really care anymore. I regret not telling him off. If he never texts me again, I'll never be able to tell him how much of a manipulative asshole he is, and it'll look like he ended things with me. I wanted to be the one to end this.